I'm freaking blown away by this. I don't understand it at all.
Just randomly in the middle of the forest, in the middle of nowhere, this... I don't even know. Anyway. Okay, my husband is on it. It's crazy. Like, where did this come from? Let me show you around surrounding areas. Hold on. Okay, so we can't figure out where this came from. How crazy. I'm gonna walk up to it. Okay, so here's my Forerunner. There's nothing else weird around here. And this is the craziest thing. And I don't want somebody's lame ass reasoning for this because there honestly isn't one.
Well, there's no trees broken.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Look up the hill. Not even there.
Yeah. There's nothing. That's crazy. So this is up close. What? How does this even happen? We've gone up this road. There's never been anything here. How? And my husband climbed it, so it's like sturdy. What the hell? I'm sorry, this is giving me the heebie-jeebies. This is like too weird.
Yeah, I don't understand this at all. Like, maybe this is common. The part that gets me before, she says it's they've been here before. And look at the road. The road is like gravel and it's hard packed dirt. This thing is solid. It's wedged so securely that her husband was able to climb it. I have so many questions. Like, did it fall from a much taller tree nearby? Like, I see the bark scattered on the ground. Could that have peeled off when it slammed? Is that even possible? Many are pointing to stories of Bigfoot using logs and tree trunks as territorial markers or even roadblocks. That would be insane because the couple, they said they've driven back there before. Drop your theories down below. Check this clip out from Mike Rugg from the Bigfoot Discovery Project. He's going over a picture of a Bigfoot ambush blind.
And we think it's actually a blind where something would sit and wait for animals to jump out and grab an animal by surprise. A halfway shelter, but not really meant to be a shelter per se. So the reason I've got it up here is because we were doing some research on this a couple of years ago, and I've never talked about this before, but I went up there one morning with Greg, the man who's holding the camera that's pointed at this right at this moment, and Greg and I went up to check out the stick house, and I'll show you. Here's a picture that Greg took with his digital camera. He snapped off one shot and then looked at it and noticed this strange phenomenon, and then shot another one, and there was nothing in the picture like this at all. We looked, our breath wasn't showing, so we really can't figure out exactly what created this this image, this white stuff that looks almost like ectoplasm here. And interestingly enough, if you look at it real close and let your mind wander, you can make out all sorts of faces in there. But anyway, it's just kind of a peculiar picture.
That's pretty insane. What a structure. Also, what do you guys think about the ethereal type smoke, or the ectoplasm as he called it? It's definitely pretty odd. Okay, what is going on here? A home in the desert of Utah, with no neighbors within 25 miles, had 3 full-grown dead cows on the roof of this little cabin. One guy said that he's pretty sure a tornado picked them up and put them there. Well, I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. I'd love to know your thoughts or theories about this. Like, could a predator have done this? Anyhow, if you have any idea, fill the rest of us in. Okay, I'm back. I couldn't stop thinking about these photos, so I went back to them. I scrolled all the way down in the comments on Reddit, and I think this guy figured it out. There were so many crazy explanations, but this guy says they were likely put there by humans to dehydrate the remains faster and sun bleach the bones. I live around reserves where this is quite common with deer carcasses instead of cows. This seems like the most reasonable explanation, and you can see they actually do have straps around their necks if you look at the pictures. This story comes from a woman named Letty who lives on her family farm. It's the kind of place where silence runs deep. Weeks, months, years, no people pass this particular area. Her land is not easy ground. The slopes are steep, way more brutal than they look in this picture. And from top to bottom, thorn patches 3 feet high sprawl across the hillside, thick enough to slice skin and snag clothing. Anyone moving through would be forced to fight their way past the terrain itself. Mounted on a tree at the edge of this slope, 8 feet off the ground, a trail camera watches over this area. Its position was chosen carefully. It shows the only area that someone might even attempt to try to get on the property. This particular camera is rarely even checked. It's mostly empty frames, maybe a deer or two, squirrels. Well, until now. A single image froze Letty in her tracks. In the photograph, something tall and long-limbed strides across the slope. It's caught mid-step as though it's running. At first glance, it's obvious it doesn't resemble any type of wildlife. It's not a deer, not livestock, definitely not anything familiar. Its arms are abnormally long, as well as the stride. But most unsettling of all, where's it coming from? The trail cam is really set up to capture anyone coming up the hill. Letty says that no one in her family can actually remember an instance of the camera picking up anything coming from that direction. Her son loves to check the cameras, and he says maybe there was a deer one time. Letty has never been one to believe in tales or cryptids or anything paranormal. Of course, she's heard of Bigfoot, she's heard whispers of skinwalkers, but she chalked those up to stories, nothing more. Still, when her son saw this image, he insisted she send it out. If it were a trespasser or a poacher, they'd have to be reckless beyond reason to cross this patch of land. She agreed to send it in, and honestly, she goes back to the land. Like, if it's a trespasser or a poacher, she says they'd have to be reckless beyond reason to cross this patch of land. There's nothing there. There's no reason. She's probably more blown away by that than anything. But if it isn't a person, could it be a Bigfoot, a skinwalker, something else? Letty doesn't claim to know, but it has her attention. She can't believe that the most ill-producing trail cam has captured one unexplained image which may be more disturbing than anything else the land has to offer. I'm very intrigued by this one. Let's get on down into the comments and talk about this. I recently came across this photo. Raw, no caption, no location, nothing but the image. Look closely, the stance, the build, the backdrop. It doesn't carry the vibe of a setup or prank. There's like an unsettling authenticity to it. Encounters are often reported on the fringes of big forests like this. I don't know. If the scene looks familiar, or better yet, if you've experienced anything similar, drop your thoughts down below. Yeah, imagine stumbling into the woods and finding not just a skull or two, but entire piles of bones. Skulls, jaws, vertebrae spread across the forest floor like some kind of open-air graveyard. That's exactly what hikers have reported in this wooded area. The collection is staggering. Dozens of deer skulls, jawbones lined with teeth, vertebrae stacked like puzzle pieces. There are cats, dogs. It doesn't look random. It looks deliberate, like someone or something has been leaving trophies behind. Theories spread fast. Some believe it's the work of a wild predator, maybe a pack of coyotes, or even mountain lions dragging their kills to the same spot over time. Others take it a step further, saying this looks eerily like a Bigfoot stockpile. Evidence of a creature not just hunting, but hoarding. Online, the debate rages. Is this proof of some killer creature living in the woods? Is there a person or a group of people involved sacrificing these animals? Of course, not everyone is convinced this is nefarious. Skeptics are arguing that these bones could easily be the result of roadkill dumps, where carcasses collected off highways are tossed into remote woods to decompose. Others chimed in that this is way too many to be a roadkill site, and this is remnants of a poacher's kill site. Someone illegally hunting, stripping meat, and leaving the bones behind. I mean, whatever it is, the way they're grouped together does seem to suggest that human hands at some point were involved. I think the sheer number of skulls is what unsettles most people. Too many, too organized, too strange. What the heck are we looking at? And let me know if you've ever come across a bone pile like this. Rush hour in South Dallas, cars jammed up on the freeway. Then suddenly, something massive bolts across the lanes. Drivers are dumbfounded. For a split second, every eye is glued to this towering dark figure moving faster than anything human. It happened right off exit 425, near the Dallas Zoo and the edge of the Trinity River Preserve. A place already dense with woods and shadows. Not where you'd expect to see a giant creature crossing 4 lanes of traffic in broad daylight. Yet dozens of people swear they saw it. Witnesses describe it as huge, arms longer than a man's, hair hanging down, leaping across the road in 3 strides before vanishing into the tree line. One driver even said it was bigger than a car. And the reaction? It was pure chaos. Some are actually convinced that they watched an escaped gorilla sprint across the freeway. Others are convinced they saw a Bigfoot. Now, I'll admit the Bigfoot angle is tempting. The size, the build, the speed, it ticks all the boxes. But here's where I don't want to rain on the parade. To me, this has all the hallmarks of a bear. South Dallas sits close to thick green corridors where wildlife can roam, and bears are known to rear up on 2 legs, covering ground quickly before dropping back down. To excited eyes in traffic, that could easily look like a Sasquatch. I'm leaning more towards a bear just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I could be persuaded. If you've driven that stretch and ever spotted something strange, oh yeah, let us know. Okay, I don't have the sharpest technological eye. I'm not up to date on the latest artificial intelligence capabilities. But I do know this. This ain't real. The story is a bulky humanoid figure stopped right in the camera's eye. We can see the image is broad-shouldered, thick-bodied, but entirely hairless. Now, if you block the face out and you just look at the body, you could see that this could be a person. Like, the figure's muscular, but not overly muscular. The shoulders are a little weird, but as soon as you look at the face, you realize, oh, no, this is not a human. Honestly, and again, I don't think this is real, but this is not something you'd want to run into in the woods. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Curious to your thoughts, is this a fake or are we in big trouble? This discovery caught on camera is nutty. While exploring his newly acquired land, a farmer stumbled upon a remarkably well-preserved corpse that bore an uncanny resemblance to a monkey. However, there shouldn't be any monkeys here. Intrigued and seeking answers, he carefully transported the preserved remains in a glass case. This discovery left everyone in town bewildered. Either this monkey-like creature was from outer space, or it's an undeveloped animal that met a tragic fate soon after birth. Hoping for insights, local museum archaeologists closely examined the unusual specimen. Their findings added to the mystery. The creature appeared akin to a monkey, yet its skin had an uncommon leathery texture. It defied the norms of any known monkey species. Furthermore, the body exhibited a stiff firmness, the exact opposite of the flexibility typically associated with primates. Unfortunately, the puzzle deepened, leaving experts and curious minds perplexed. Was this monkey-like creature a sign of extraterrestrial life? Or was it something more common, that met a tragic fate that rendered it uniquely preserved? Who knows? The farmer's quest for answers hasn't gotten far, but it has opened the doors to the understanding that stretches beyond the boundaries of known science. These next pictures and story are from a viewer named Jesse in the Florida Everglades. Jesse owned a small property that butted up against the vast expanse of the Everglades. He was an avid outdoorsman, always eager to explore the mysteries hidden within the swamplands. One day, while reviewing the footage from one of his trail cameras, a chilling sight grabbed his attention. There, amidst the dense foliage, appeared an unknown creature. Its long, stringy hair, a peculiar blend of gray and brown, hung down in disheveled strands. The creature's eyes, a piercing yellow, glowed in the darkness like fiery embers. But what struck Jesse most was its dog-like snout, adorned with big teeth ready to snap shut in an instant. Curiosity piqued, Jesse's mind raced with questions. What was this mysterious being lurking on the edges of his property? Was it a creature of legend, an ancient dweller of the Everglades, or something entirely new and undiscovered? Determined to uncover the truth, he embarked on a quest to capture further evidence of this elusive creature. Equipped with his trail camera and a sense of anticipation, Jesse set out into the depths of the Everglades. As he navigated the murky marshlands, he could sense an otherworldly energy hanging heavy in the air. The sounds of the usual creatures echoed through the trees, heightening the ambiance around him. Days turned into nights, and nights bled into early mornings as Jesse patiently set up his trail camera in strategic locations. He had his bag of food in his tent. He meticulously scouted the landscape, searching for traces of the puzzling creature. Each passing day only fueled his determination to shed light on this fascinating mystery. Weeks went by and he headed home. Filled with anticipation and endless hours of footage, Jesse reviewed and reviewed. The Everglades seemed to hold its secrets tightly, teasing Jesse with glimpses of creatures he already knew of. Then, one stormy night as thunder rumbled overhead, the last trail camera captured a defining moment. The mysterious creature emerged from the shadows, its long, stringy hair clinging to its hunched form. Its yellow eyes gleamed with an otherworld intensity as it prowled through the dense vegetation. The creature seemed aware of the camera's presence, a glimmer in its eyes, and a snarl for the camera. For as big as it was, it moved with an uncanny grace, effortlessly navigating the thick terrain. Jesse watched in awe as the creature's powerful jaws snapped shut. The sight of this creature both fascinated and unnerved Jesse. He realized that he was witness to an ancient predator, an embodiment of nature's primal instincts. It was a creature that had adapted and survived in the unforgiving Everglades, hidden from human eyes for who knows how long. In that moment, Jesse realized the significance of his discovery. This creature represented the untamed essence of the Everglades, a reminder of the wild and untamed beauty that thrived just beyond the edges of civilization. With newfound respect for the wilderness, Jesse decided to keep the creature's existence a secret. He understood the delicate balance between preserving the unknown and protecting the wonders of the Everglades. And so, the man and the mysterious creature continued their separate journeys through the Florida Everglades for 20 years. Jesse never spoke of this creature until recently. He has sent these pictures and story in hopes that someone can help identify the creature. The world awaits, ready to unveil the secrets that lie within the depths of the untamed Everglades. Now, I have seen this picture a few times, and honestly I thought it was fake, but perhaps there is some merit to it. This image has captured the attention of audiences across the internet. A greenish, blue-eyed creature with haunting features. I mean, this thing ignited intrigue and speculation. Some saw a rabid canine, tormented by the disease that unleashes aggression and occasional delusions. Some victims even hallucinate and lash out. Others focused on its hairless body, believing they had stumbled upon a chupacabra, which most know, but that's a legendary beast notorious for blood-sucking and goat-slaying. There were whispers that this image might be connected to the creature responsible for the farmer's ordeal in Texas, the one where he was searching for his entire farm of missing cattle. Nevertheless, despite numerous theories, the true identity of the creature in this image remains unknown. It looks to be some sort of canine. If I had to guess, it would be just a dog with mange. I don't know. If any of you know any more about this picture, I'd be interested. In the midst of their routine day-to-day activities, a couple stumbled upon a remarkably well-preserved appendage that didn't match any known creature they could identify. They thought about simply dismissing it and resuming their lives. However, curiosity ignited their imagination. Was this their moment of making a monumental discovery? They decided to document the unusual find by snapping photographs of the limb. It then popped in the woman's mind an intriguing thought. Could this relic potentially be the legendary Bigfoot's foot? However, it seemed too small to be a full-grown Bigfoot. After the photograph made its rounds on the internet, it was suggested that the mysterious limb could belong to a juvenile Bigfoot, either a foot or possibly a hand. They figured there was only one way to solve this mystery: if the unidentified limb's DNA could be compared to the DNA of other Bigfoot specimens. It just so happens that a Dr. Melber Ketchum and her group profess to have conducted DNA sequencing on a myriad of specimens such as hair and tissue reportedly obtained from unidentified hominin species, popularly known as Bigfoot. The couple has been in touch with Dr. Ketchum's team, but no definitive answers have come out. Could this be the breakthrough moment to unravel the Bigfoot mystery once and for all? What do you guys think of these photographs? As is customary, duels between stags involve charging at each other, utilizing their antlers to strike the adversary. If the antlers are small with only a couple of tines, the likelihood of any serious hazard during these skirmishes is generally very low. However, the situation changes when the antlers are more complex, larger, and convoluted, and the probability of their entanglement increases significantly. In this case, two deer find themselves in quite a predicament. Their antlers have become intertwined, and one appears to be on the verge of dying or dead. The other deer is exerting every ounce of its strength to try to free itself from this grim entrapment. He's in big trouble if he can't get this dead weight off of him. The deer tries and tries, but it seems that the assistance of an external force may be necessary for this creature's release. It's pretty apparent that, if left to their own devices, these deer could find themselves in quite the pickle. They need some help, particularly human assistance. Without such help, escaping this unfortunate snare could prove to be a nearly impossible task for these creatures. A good example of this can be found in the case of this deer that has found itself entangled in a man-made structure, a fence to be precise. Its struggle caught the attention of a local farmer. Fortunately, the resident took immediate action, stepping in to assist the distressed creature. The deer, pinned helplessly, would have faced a bleak and potentially fatal situation. If not released, it could have suffered a slow and agonizing decline brought on by a lack of food and water. Or worse yet, and this is tough to think about, its helpless state could have attracted unwanted attention from predators, turning it into an easy prey. But have no fear, thanks to the timely intervention of a good Samaritan, it was spared from such a cruel fate. It was saved from the brink of starving, dehydrating, and the possibility of becoming someone's meal. While it's always suggested to be careful when helping in nature, this escape underscores the importance of human intervention when certain types of wildlife are in distress. Just a great camera capture. John lived a quiet life in a remote cabin nestled deep within the woods, over 10 miles from the nearest neighbor. This place was his sanctuary, a place where he could enjoy his solitude and the natural beauty surrounding him. He had worked hard to achieve this. However, one day, this tranquility was disrupted by an unexpected appearance on his trail camera. He had set the camera up on a game trail near his property, mostly to observe the local fauna. But on that crisp autumn day, while reviewing the images, he came across something that sent chills down his spine. The figure in the frame wasn't a bear, or a wild boar, or a deer. It was a young girl. Her hair the color of sunlit wheat, dirt streaked across her face and clothes.
And she had something on her face, something he couldn't make out. It looked like lines, almost like cracked skin. The sight of her in the wild and her clearly unkempt condition was jarring. Her eyes, clear and piercing, stared straight into the camera, and they held a haunting mix of fear and defiance. She was like a ghost in the wilderness, except she wasn't. But who was she, and how did she end up so far away from any form of civilization? With concern mounting, John decided to investigate. He felt the responsibility to find her, to ensure she was safe. Leaving his cabin, he ventured deep into the woods. He followed the same game trail, tracing the path the girl had likely taken. The forest was quiet, eerily quiet, save for the rustle of leaves underfoot and the distant calls of birds overhead. Days turned into nights and the mystery deepened. He discovered signs of her, footprints by a stream, discarded wrappers of food he recognized from his own supplies, and a makeshift shelter near the base of an old oak tree. It appeared she had been surviving in the woods for some time, but each clue he found only seemed to raise more questions. John couldn't help but wonder about her story. Was she lost? Had she run away? He felt a growing sense of worry, and a very, very weird feeling of admiration. This girl had survived something. She was tough. Despite her situation, she had managed to survive in this untamed environment, a feat that many grown men wouldn't be able to accomplish. But being a father himself, each passing day without finding her increased his anxiety. He knew the woods could be treacherous, especially for a young girl of this age. Yet he also recognized her resourcefulness and resilience. His mind teetered between hope and dread, the haunting image from the trail camera always at the back of his mind as the days passed. As those days turned into a week, John began to question his solitary existence. In a world so vast, he felt a kinship with this mysterious girl. Maybe they were both outsiders. It seemed so, living on the periphery, separated from the rest of society. But that didn't answer his questions. The girl in the picture remained elusive, her whereabouts unknown. Still, John continued his search, driven by a newfound purpose. The woods that once provided him with solitude were now a labyrinth hiding a mystery. The mysterious young girl with the sunlit hair and resilient gaze. Where was she? While he longed for answers, John knew he was embarking on an uncertain journey. His once quiet life had been upended, replaced by a quest to ensure the safety of a stranger. Oddly, he felt more alive and connected than ever before. The woods, his refuge, had given him a purpose he didn't realize he was seeking, all through the unexpected image of a young girl on his trail camera. In Oregon's deep forests, people are whispering and getting excited. From the start, it's clear we might be seeing the famous and hard-to-find creature we all know and love as Bigfoot. This figure, standing tall among the trees, has clear human-like features, catching our imagination with its mystery. But there's something else that really adds to this already interesting meeting. If you look closely, a surprising discovery appears. Safely riding on the Bigfoot's back, a smaller figure can be seen. This little partner, looking like a baby, holds tightly to its bigger buddy, grabbing onto its fur. The two look very similar, obviously, suggesting a family connection, if anything at all. Now, the idea that these amazing creatures might be Bigfoot and its child opens up many possibilities. Could these hard-to-find creatures have complex family structures and social behaviors? Like humans and other mammals, do they show parental instincts and look after their young? The presence of the baby Bigfoot adds more weight to the idea of a whole species. Could this incredible trail camera footage be the key to understanding the secrets of the elusive Bigfoot's life? We might just find the answer deep in Oregon's forests.
This next clip is quite insane. We see a fox and a wolf literally frozen in time, seemingly right before they were set to attack one another. Now, if someone mentioned this scenario to me, I'd have found it pretty hard to believe. I would definitely need some evidence. Two predators seemingly frozen in a moment of confrontation. I mean, what happened here? I see the snow on the ground, so my first thought is that they froze in place, which seems nuts. Could we be looking at expertly crafted taxidermy? Man, I just don't know.
If anyone knows more about this or has a logical explanation, please let me know. This seems nearly impossible, and I'd love to know if anyone has any experience with this. Take a look at this unusual security video shared on Reddit. A man is seen searching through his truck, and suddenly, an unexplained shadow appears to move under the vehicle. What's your take on this? Someone suggested it could be a distorted image of a mountain lion approaching the man. I'm curious about your thoughts on this. Getting against the house's wall, a hazy figure of a man emerges, dressed in what seems to be formal attire, eyes trained on the group. His vague and ghost-like form sparks intrigue and an undeniable feeling of uneasiness among viewers. Many argue that this strange apparition might simply be the result of camera settings or slight motion during the shot. However, its ghostly quality challenges standard explanations, leading some to believe there's a darker story hidden within. This old photograph, with its creepy shadow, has an uncanny appeal. Amidst an everyday scene, this ambiguous silhouette compels us to reflect on the mysteries that might lurk beyond our understanding. Is it a simple trick of the eye? Or is there a deeper, perhaps ominous tale behind this shadowy figure? The black and white image, paired with the indistinct figure and the eerie backdrop of the home, crafts a freaky setting that makes us question reality and the potential of otherworldly forces. Whether it's a play of shadows or a hint of the ethereal realm, this image is a powerful testament to the mysteries the past might hold, inducing feelings of wonder and unease that linger long after you see this photo.